here we go. I did do a video yesterday about Octagon, but it got pulled down due to copyright reasons. But this is all about the UFC. Mr. Dana White has gone, fuck it, let's show what this UFC can do. And we are starting off UFC 2024 in the UFC in fucking style. So we've got three title fights been announced last night. So the first one, which I am quite happy about, is Sean Strickland will face against Du Plessis. Du Plessis beat Robert Whittaker in fucking fashion. So Du Plessis, since being in the UFC, has had what, 7 fights. Then he obviously faced Darren Till, beat him in the 3rd round submission. That fucking neck crank. Listen, unless you've been in a neck crank, fucking they're not nice to be in. They're not nice to be in, and like I've been in fucking several of them, and many will say Till tapped early. I don't think so at all. You know if it's on, like you know if, like you've got to remember, over halfway into the 3rd round as well, energy levels aren't going to be the same. I understand why that tap came. And then obviously against Derek Brunson, it was fucking, he was calling for the shot then. And if I'm right, he fought him in Australia and beat Robert Whittaker 2nd round. Does he deserve a title opportunity? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think the fact that he sat out a little bit for this, we were saying, right, the winner of Paulo Costa versus Chimaev would be the one who will get the shot. But unfortunately that fight fell off and we got Usman versus Chimaev. Chimaev didn't really show why he deserves a title shot. Sean Strickland will be defending his belt for the first time against Du Plessis. Sean Strickland has come out about comments about being in Canada, about freedom of speech and all this. Listen, Sean Strickland is one character. I think he'll cost the UFC some fucking money and some of the shit he said. It's his opinion, his voice, his whatever. 297 is in Toronto, Canada. Then in February we'll have Alex Volkanovski return. So obviously Volkanovski faced Islam last month on 11 day notice. He will now face against Ilia Topuria, who obviously beat Josh Emmett in June. That's another great fight. I think Ilia Topuria, he's got some fucking hands. I don't know, I just think that Volkanovski is going to go down and just show that he is the featherweight GOAT. I really do think that he is the featherweight GOAT. Unfortunately, he can't produce the same at lightweight. His time will come, and then it will put, that is UFC 298, which is apparently in Los Angeles, from what I'm hearing. Los Angeles? I don't know if that's true. Los Angeles is where Topuria is fucking mentioned about it. I think it's Los Angeles he mentioned. And then obviously we've got 299 Sean O'Malley rematch against Marlon Vera. So we know that Marlon Vera is the only person to have beaten Sean O'Malley. So we can see as he goes forward, he turns the ankle. You can see he's limping on that leg. He's limping on that leg. He's against the cage. He's limping around. And then the leg just fucking goes underneath him and Vera takes the opportunity and finishes him. So yeah, but since then, obviously we know Sean O'Malley has fucking beaten Almeida, Chris Moutinho, Pavia, Pedro Munez, Petr Yan in a controversial split decision. And then Aljamain Sterling, which we all thought Sterling was going to fucking come out and win that. So all in all, I think the UFC are coming out with a huge 2024 because we know UFC 300 is more than likely to be Return of the Mac. Okay, we are very aware that this is where this is heading. We are very aware of this. We're not stupid. My early predictions for this, I think that Sean Strickland will beat and still Volkanovski and still, and I think Sean O'Malley, I think all three will defend their belts. Then I think we might see Conor versus Chandler on the potentially the same card. Do we see Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira as a headline for UFC 300 with Conor being the co-main event against Chandler? Will Conor become a co-main eventer? That would be some fucking card. Because from what I read on Twitter last night, Dustin Poirier tweeted saying UFC 300. Are we seeing Dustin Poirier versus Gaethje on that same card as Conor versus fucking Chandler? Or possibly Islam versus Oliveira. Now, if we see all this fucking playing out, I don't know. Like, I will be honest with you, a fight I'd love to see at UFC 300 is Jim Miller versus Paul Felder. Fucking get them on that card. Get Jim Miller on that card. He's fought at UFC 100, 200. Get him on that 300. Get him on UFC 300. UFC 300 would be something special. It's got to be at Vegas. Got to be Vegas. That would be April, May. I don't know. Obviously, there's talks of a couple of events over in Shanghai and stuff next year as well. I know there's one in December in Shanghai, but no main event has been announced yet on that, as there. So I don't know. It's one of them where UFC are clever. What are your early predictions on this fight, or these fights? And who do you think will be UFC 300? Because I think the UFC would have liked to have Conor on the same card as possibly John Jones. Not against each other, obviously, but possibly having a massive fuck-off card there. Obviously, USADA will not be a thing of it, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. This week, we are going to have daily content around UFC. Let me know your predictions. I'm excited. I'm excited for what is to come in the UFC. Don't forget, hit like and subscribe.